What's up, everybody? I am Stryker. This is Out of Order, and today we have cameras here. Normally we don't have cameras, but it's okay to have cameras, and so excited to welcome Pierce the Veil to Out of Order, everybody! Yeah! Well, yes! Holy mackerel. Well. It is,
We're here. We did it.
You did it. You got in cars. I made it on time. You're on time.
We flew in and we dropped in parachute style, landed on the building. It was great. It was a successful mission.
Yes,
We're
it was.
here.
Misadventures is out, but I want to just talk about a little bit of the history of the band. I want to be educated on a few things, and then I want to talk about the album and just life in general. But Vic, I want to go to you first. Before A Flair for the Dramatic came out, like around 2007, what were you doing in your life in like 2005 and 6 in San Diego?
Let's see. Well,
Adult entertainment.
Beyond that, not a whole lot. No, I think, me and Mike actually were in another band before Pierce the Veil began.
High five.
You know, we originally got signed to Equal Vision Records in New York, and that was like, you know, our first record deal. We only put out one record. We broke up, and then the label like had faith in me and Mike, and they were like, "Hey, you guys can keep making a record if you want," you know. So we made Pierce the Veil, and that's how we kind of started, you know. So yeah, we kind of had this other, you know, first little run of you know, putting out that first
Were
record.
your spirits ever crushed that it didn't go how you wanted in the beginning?
No, I mean, well, we were with these, you know, a couple other members that just didn't really, you know, they weren't really committed to music and stuff like that. So it was kind of for the best, you know, to make a new band with dudes that are passionate, so passionate, like this man.
I'm so passionate.
So much passion inside him. I tell him every day.
And Jaime, how did you meet these guys?
I actually was the last one to meet the whole group. Tony and I were in a band, kind of same thing. We were just playing in San Diego and doing like little runs up and down like in Arizona area and just kind of traveling, try to just promote our band. And I think our band kind of fizzled out and broke up. And Tony met these guys at a guitar shop, and I think it just kind of fell into place there. He called us and was like, "Yo, let's jam." And I remember meeting Vic, and I was just
we met Tony. We really liked Tony, and Tony warned us about you.
Yeah.
He said this guy's.
You should have seen his hair when we
Well,
first
his hair
met.
was a lot bigger.
It was
lot
like
bigger.
5 times as big.
I had like an
It was
afro.
like a fro, but just straight.
It was
Straight hair.
It was during at the drive-in.
He had
gig.
this super scenester
Lars
like
Voltel.
blonde streak in his hair. It was great.
I went through every phase of life. I'm going through my old lady phase right now.
Pretty sure there was eyeliner involved.
I
I'm
had
not
a
really
blonde
sure.
streak at one point too.
Yeah, everyone.
So-
I mean, we all have done it.
We've all been there.
We're going to give you a walker with tennis balls as your parting gift today.
I love
Stryker,
that.
did you ever straighten your hair? I feel like you went through
Yes,
that
he
phase.
did
You
it.
went through that.
Look at
Yes.
that. He's trying to get out of it.
Hey,
Look there's many things that I've done in my life that I'm not super proud of, but at the
You know what?
time you
Hey.
think you're doing all right, and then you realize I'm not
you're
doing
gonna
all
be
right.
fine.
I thought it
we're
looked-
gonna be fine.
I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
I look at
thought it
pictures
looked
now.
good, but everything was just not good.
We did it.
God. It's
Tony,
like
how did you guys know? Because many bands think they know, but they don't really know that if you want to do music and I'm talking to Mike, by the way. Yeah, if you want to do music and you want to be professional at it, you kind of have to give up a lot of the other things around you, even though you think you can't give those things up. How did you know that? Look, if we want to do this, this has to be 100% focus here.
Well, I think I found out pretty early on that I wasn't like a book smart, like school, like I wasn't into school at all. Like
You're not smart.
Yep. I'm pretty much just I'm stupid. I pretty much just said I want to play drums, and that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna try to be the best I can at it, and just stick with that. And you know, me and Vic writing songs early on in high school, and that's all we really wanted to do. So yeah, we just stuck with it.
Amen, brother.
How musical was your family growing up, Vic?
Very supportive. My dad was a guitar player, so he taught me. You know, he's playing jazz and Santana and Jimi Hendrix. So kind of grew up around that. So there was always guitars around. We actually have this video of me and my brother when we were like super young, like babies, and like Mike's playing this little drum kit, and I'm playing my dad's guitar, and it was just meant to be.
It was.
Tony, I want to talk about the fans for a minute. I mean, you guys have done something, and I don't want to say it's rare to do, but it's very difficult to do. You guys have built up this fan base 100% because of the band. It wasn't like a certain video on a TV station. It wasn't because of a radio station. It wasn't some like crazy magic or your song being in a commercial. It is like a relationship with the fans, you guys doing the work, and then putting in the time to discover you guys. Can you just talk about that relationship?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a slow and steady growing process, like gaining those fans and everything. We had, I remember some of our first shows playing to nobody, but when there were a few people there, we would hang out at our merch table and just try and meet and get to know them on a more personal level. And we've kind of stuck with that through the years, doing meet and greets whenever we can and trying to meet everybody. So we try and stay really personal when we can to kind of keep them, keep them focused on us and keep them interested in what we're doing.
Vic, what have been some of the obstacles over the last 5 years?
I guess just trying to get past everything that doesn't involve music that can try and bring you down, like, things about the industry and things that just like that can really I don't know, sort of like give a bad name to touring and being in a band, and it's just really all about trying to focus on your music and representing yourself how you want to, and that can be tough sometimes, but you have to like stick to your guns and kind of just be yourselves,
Right. Sticking to your guns is one of the most important things, and you've seen bands and maybe they don't even know they're doing it. Well, they hear these outside voices. Oh, this may be working. And maybe if someone at a label is saying, hey, I don't know if I hear something that people are going to really like. So, Jaime, talk about how easy it is or not easy to just stick to your guys' path.
I mean, I think we've always been that kind of band. And if we couldn't stick to our guns like all the way, like when we were younger and doing that stuff, we tried to just be as honest and as real as possible when it comes to that kind of stuff. I think that was the hardest part for us growing up, like figuring out when to like put your foot down and be like, yo, this is not something we want to do. We want to do it this way, or we want to, and I think that's just kind of, I think we stick to the like DIY like mentality of everything we do, and that's kind of how we grew up doing it, and I think we will never stop doing that, So, I mean, unless somebody comes at me with a hammer.
Right.
I think the key is just not to take yourself too seriously.
Yeah. You never take yourself too seriously. Because that
we're not rock stars. We're just normal kids.
Couple of dudes playing rock music.
Like playing music. And like playing
Hair
gigs.
straightening.
Hair straightening, tight jean
I used to
wearing,
straighten my hair.
thong underneath.
high octane
rock.
And by the way, let me just show you how these guys are so nice. They walked in. Vic was like, we got a present for you. And I pulled this out, and I would like to crack it open. I don't think I'm going to do it right now. This is just like the nicest gesture of a band.
That's some nice scotch right there.
This is.
I'll tell you what.
Some drawings on there.
I have that at my very home at the
you?
moment right now, and I am 85 years old, and I drink scotch.
All right, so as you guys have mentioned, it's been a slow build, but a huge build. I mean, if you guys are playing a show, people show up, and that's hard to get people to go anywhere. And this is completely happening. Bands that started when you did may have had bigger success in 2010, but right now, what the hell are they doing? But was there ever a time where you saw other bands that maybe, in your eyes, weren't working as hard or maybe weren't as good, and you were like, what the hell do we have to do here? Vic, I want to go to you on that.
Talk some smack, Vic.
No, it's not
No,
talking smack about others. It's just about looking at yourselves.
Honestly, no. I mean, growing up touring with so many different bands and opening up for bands and like seeing like how they do things and having that, drive to someday get to where the people who we were opening up for over the years. Like, I think it really inspired us. Inspired like touring with bands like A Day to Remember and Bring Them to the Horizon, and bands that had been around longer than us, like even longer than us. We see that and we gain inspiration from like our friends and stuff like that. And I think it's like, I think all that helps over the years of just pushing ourselves to get to next levels and stuff.
Absolutely.
As well.
Tony, I want to talk about Misadventures and the making of this album, and as compared to previous, for you, easy to make or hard to make?
It was different. Vic does a lot of writing on his own, and this was the first time when we got to the studio, we wrote songs together in the studio. So we sat in a circle and just jammed for hours and hours and hours trying to like make songs happen. And it turned out that wasn't really the way we worked together as a band. So we had to do things differently and separate and start writing on our own while we were at the studio. And that part of it was a little bit more difficult. And then obviously once we finished instruments, there were a lot of other things that kind of slowed the record process down and made it even harder because we were going on tours and breaking up the record process throughout. So
One song in particular, and I want to go to you, Mike, on this, The Divine Zero. There's like 2 minutes into that song. The music, I love the lyrics, but the music just makes me insanely happy. Is there a thought that you have of that particular song, or just maybe a memory you have making that track?
I think I was thinking about you while I was recording that track.
It must be terrible.
Just
then.
a little photo.
That's why it makes you so
Stryker.
happy.
Just let's go, baby, let's go.
No, I mean, my dad told me growing up, you got to play with your heart and your soul. And in the beginning, I couldn't really understand what that meant until actually, like, playing music for a while. You can really tell when someone's feeling the music rather than they're just up there, oh, it's another gig, another night, So I think that's always helped us, is really playing our music with our heart and our soul.
I really like the song Dive In as well. And Jaime, I want to go to you.
I love that. You're just calling us out. I like it.
Yes. Tell me about how that song came together for you and what you remember, how it was lovely or it was difficult, or there were fights for that?
That one was actually, I think, unanimously, it's a hard word. I have a hard time speaking English. I think for all of us, I mean, me personally, I think that was one of my favorite songs when we had it, like a skeleton version of it in the studio. And I think the reason was because it had so many different elements of like music for us. It had like really slow stuff, it had really pretty sounding stuff, had fast stuff, and it had like that bridge breakdown, which is like super out of nowhere for us. And I think having that kind of big box of tricks, I guess, all in one song kind of started the record in a really cool way for me,
Yes.
And I think we always joke, like, if you want to hear, what Pierce DeVille's all about, show them that track and you can kind of get a little bit of everything, It's like a buffet.
I totally gravitate to that track, just so you
Yeah.
guys know. I
Yeah.
love that damn song
And the fact that
much.
we kind of went, I mean, it's like a 6-minute long song to put in the start of the track. So we were like, please just don't skip this song, please. I know it's long, but just, yeah. So it was one of those songs that I think turned out really, really great. And I think it's a cool opener track. I think that's the only place for it. So,
Vic, speaking of people sticking to a track and listening to it, I mean, with many of your songs and many of the greatest bands, like if you go all time, it's not a one listen like, oh, one time I know everything about this song. I know what it means. I know what Vic was thinking. Or I have my own interpretation, but it's not really like that. So people need to be patient, I think. Do you have thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, I mean, our music is definitely pretty in depth. We have a lot of production and a lot of things. There's always something you can listen to a song, one of our songs, like 20 times, and then you'll still be like just discovering, like, oh my God, is that a
vocal part?
is that a cowbell and like the bridge there? I'd never noticed that before. Like, so
A lot of triangle.
Yeah, a lot of triangle in there.
Hidden triangle.
But yeah, no, it's just I've always been a fan of bands that do make songs that when you listen to them, you're like, damn, like how did they make that song? Like, I wonder how long it took them to create this piece of art. This journey of a song, and I'm all about like songs like that. I've always been inspired by that kind of stuff.
How confident are you going into the room when you have lyrics to show these guys? Is it just a breeze, or do you feel nervous that they're going to question things?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're always pretty confident with each other and stuff like that. I don't think there's ever been a moment where Jaime's looked at me and been like, I don't know about that lyric there, buddy.
What did you say?
You really want to say
Big
pancakes
booty,
in the...
Did you just put a big booty in there? Sir Mix-a-Lot? What?
Yeah.
No,
so I don't know. That day will come, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, we definitely have a quiet confidence in Vic when he writes lyrics, and I think he spends so much time kind of getting it right before he even shows us. So when we hear it, it's like the 89th version of that, lyric that, so we know there was some time that went into it. So I think we're all on the same page, and I think he writes very personal. So it's almost like when he shows us lyrics or when he sings a part, we kind of know where it's coming from, and, so that's good.
And Vic, the writing of this song for lyrics was not just done in the basement somewhere. Like, you were in different areas of the world, right?
Yeah, I went on a bit of a lyrical search, if you will.
So
yeah.
purposely you traveled to write lyrics?
Yeah, I traveled all over the place. I lived, I lived up in like a cabin up in Big Bear, California for a while. I lived in LA, and I worked in different studios up here in LA, San Diego. And then I finally finished the record by doing I took a cheap flight up to Seattle, and I worked on like the last 3 or 4 songs and finished them up at this hotel in Seattle. And I just kind of wanted to move around and get my brain working in different ways. Like, every time I see different people or different places and colors. It just kind of makes you think differently, and I just wanted those different inspirations, you know.
Tony, what about playing the entire album live? Does that give you butterflies? Talk about that a little
I have
bit.
a habit of not talking in these things, and you just keep calling me out.
I'd like to include everybody, because if you
Get
just
'em.
say a question to a band, the band goes like this.
Looks
You
around.
gotta go. Plus,
like that.
That's great.
Yeah, I want to hear you.
But yeah, it's been pretty stressful trying to relearn a whole record, because a lot of the stuff we recorded and laid it all down 2 years ago. So we haven't we
were young
had
men.
to figure it out until now. And then for Vic and I, we have to go through guitar parts and figure out what he can sing and play and what I'm gonna play, and go through it all. And because a lot of tracks, there's more than just 2 guitars. There's a bunch of stuff, so you have to pick and choose what's gonna work live. And it's been a fun but very stressful process trying to get ready for
Mike
next
and I are
year.
just like, there's only one drums. There's only one bass. All right.
I think I'm just gonna lose 8 pounds a show instead of 5 pounds a show this tour. So
Yeah.
playing a whole record is
It's gonna be
a
interesting.
bit of a marathon.
I like it though. Not a lot of bands are doing that. So
I mean, the size venues you guys have chosen to do this, more on the smaller side, even though you could do bigger ones, right? Am I right on that?
I mean, I guess we'll never know. No, yeah, we wanted it to make it a special kind of thing, because we're definitely not going to do this, ever again. This is kind of like a one-time thing. So we thought make it really personal and play kind of the, some of the venues we played when we were younger growing up and trying to fill up and stuff. So I think it'll be a cool, fun, experience for everyone. I think it'll be fun for us playing these new songs and feeling them out. And I think if you are a fan of our band, it'll be a special night. And I'll be there with bells on.
You should put that on the flyer. It'll be a special night.
It'll be a special night. Yeah, special.
Vic, the song Circles, which I played on the 420 feature
You're the man.
a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about Bataclan, and that horrible tragedy was the inspiration for your lyrics in that song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
How far along, or how far after that tragedy did you start writing that song?
I think a couple weeks after it, maybe even a week after it. I don't know. I remember saving that song because I didn't know what to write about, and I knew it needed to be something special and important and or hard hitting. That's something that I remember when that happened, I was just floored by it, and I think the whole world was brought to their knees pretty much by that whole thing, and it was the only thing on my mind, and I wanted to put something on paper for those people, and I tried to put a positive spin on it. I just tried to write a song about 2 friends helping each other out, because there was a lot of people just trying to help each other, and I tried to make something positive out of that whole thing.
Positive.
Right. And you did. It's a great, great track. The album
done,
is
bro.
so good. And I mean, you don't have to answer this, but because the obvious answer is of course. But like, to have one album be bigger than the next, and the next one bigger than the next, I mean, you can't write a better script for your profession. So that's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's all about
Slow climb.
growing up with the fans, and just
You want that
continuing to progress as a band. I think in 10 years from now, I don't think we'll sound anything like we do today, but I think we'll be
I'm definitely going to need that walker.
yeah.
That you promised me earlier.
Tennis balls?
He promised me a walker.
Do walkers come with tennis balls, or people have to cut
I think
the
that's a
hole in
custom.
it?
That's like, when you trick your car out and put like rims on it.
Yes.
I think it's like when you put the tennis balls.
Yeah.
You got to get
It says you're old
Oh,
but
it's
still
for, you
sporty.
think it's for looks?
I think it's for function too, but
Okay.
I think it's like an upgrade, I
Right,
think you
right,
gotta
okay. Well, I'm getting very close to that. No more hair straightening, only walkers for me.
I like walkers, yeah.
Congratulations on everything you guys have done.
Thank you.
I
man,
mean,
thanks.
I said it during the interview, but man, what an incredibly perfect musical ride you guys are on. You have done all
so
the work,
nice.
and you continue to do it, and there's no better way
Too
for it
kind.
to happen.
Too kind.
It's true.
Yeah,
So
let's keep the ride going, huh? What do you
let's
say?
keep the ride going.
Let's pop that bottle and get rowdy.
Thanks, Stryker.
We're gonna pop bottles right now.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
way.
No.
Save
You want some right now?
I'll take some.
All right, hold on. All right.
Oh, he's gonna do it. Oh man, that's insane.
But listen, I don't know what germs I have, so I'm not gonna put my lips on it.
Hey, it's
Oh,
alcohol.
come
I
on.
feel like
You're a gentleman. Cheers.
We're all family here.
Oh, he's doing it.
yeah, it's just water
yeah.
falling. Water falling.
Oh.
Ted Stryker is water falling.
There you go.
Oban
Man,
Scotch
that is
right now.
good.
Oh man, should we go all the way around? It's a celebratory.
You skipped a guy.
Oh
Yeah, what's going on? Let's get the camera guys involved
Come
here.
on.
Come
Yeah,
on.
go ahead, Carlos. Get him on there.
Yes.
We're Pierce
You just put
Savelle.
your lips on it.
How we do it?
We're Pierce Savelle, and we'll get you drunk for free.
We're making out with everybody right now. Ooh, that is
Yes.
so good,
Cheers.
guys.
It's good stuff.
That's great stuff.
Oh, yes.
Mind
Yeah.
you, it's 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, the guy
If
when
you're
I
listening.
when I was buying some of that the other day, the guy didn't even card me because he just knows if you're buying Oban, you're definitely over 21.
yeah.
You're definitely an old man.
Yes.
Yes, come on, Cody. Yeah, there you go, Cody.
You gotta get
There
that.
he is. There it is.
Hell.
He's not
Attaboy.
driving.
Yes. Guys, pierce the veil. Ow. The relationship has been christened.
Yes.
Thanks for making the time for me. And
Dude, thanks for having us, man.
Of course, anytime. And I will see you guys at a live show.
Yes.
All right.
And,
Very
that's
soon.
how I'm
We'll
going to
be
wrap
here.
it up.
We'll
We'll
get
be
you
here
front
anytime.
row. We'll get you front row.
Front row. Front row.
Hammered drunk.
We'll be here anytime. We'll be waiting outside every day
We
until
got
you
your
let
license
us
plate
until you let us in
number.
again.
What?
I love that. Hair straightener by Pierce the Veil. Guys, thanks for being here. I'm Stryker, and that's been Out of Order. Goodbye, everybody.